While most of the world was excited to enter the new millennium with the year of 2000, some, mostly religious groups, was concerned or even certain that the world as we knew it would end when the New Year bell started to ring on the night of December 31st, 1999. And then there was the whole Y2K problem, also known as the Millennium Bug, that led some to believe that all computerized systems would crash and become defect. End of Days is a film that deals with the fear of something bad happening due to us entering the new millennium. The story here is that Satan is out to sex up his chosen bride during the last hour of the millennium, to make her carry his offspring, which basically turn the world into Satan's playground. The only one that might have some chance to stop the evil one from destroying the world is the depressed former cop, Jericho Kane. End of Days was a big production with an estimated budget of $100 million. The production started quite differently, as the leading role of Jericho was originally written for Tom Cruise, who ended up choosing to do Magnolia instead of this film, leaving the part open for Arnold Schwarzenegger to return to cinema after having a heart surgery and not being seen since his role as Freeze in the 1997 much maligned movie Batman and Robin. The job of directing the film was offered to Sam Raimi and Guillermo del Toro, before eventually going to Marcus Nispel, who would leave the production due to disagreements, making the director chair available for Peter Hyams, who was highly recommended by none other than James Cameron. Hyams had experience going all the way back to the 70s, and fans of action films will have noticed his name on the two Jean-Claude Van Damme movies Time Cop and Sudden Death, while horror fans might maybe remember his 1997 movie The Relic. End of Days was released in cinemas worldwide in the end of November 1999. He got a poor critical reception and currently only holds an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. It did make back its money due to being better received outside of the US and thanks to good DVD sales, but did not live up to expectations of Universal Studios. It was also nominated for 3 Razzies Awards, including Worst Actor and Worst Director. But yet, I think End of Days is a fun film. The movie can be summed up with Arnold meets The Omen, and as a fan that grew up with the guy, combined with being a horror fan, how could possibly a movie with Arnold fighting the devil himself go wrong? He even tries to give his character some depth there, by trying to make his character human instead of being an indestructible action hero. And while he isn't a great actor, he does nail it in some scenes. So let's just give him some slack for the ones where he don't.
Get up! My best friend is dead. Everyone is trying to kill us. I just shot 2 cops. Why is everyone after you? Huh?
I don't know. I swear I don't know.
I can't remember if I've seen an Arnold character end up with a fate like Jericho does in this, which was refreshing and honestly not even expected. There was also some nice references to the good old action films where the badass hero cop would mix up the weirdest breakfast shakes ever.
Say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I'm good.
It was very fun to see Arnold in a movie like this, and even if he said after the film that he thought it was filmed too dark, I enjoyed the cinematography of it a lot and thought it suited the subject matter. Special effects still holds up and the pacing is also nice and fast. There are some unintentionally funny dialogue going on, but nothing cringeworthy. There are also plenty of plot holes left wide open, so it is not a movie you should overthink while watching, as it will just put you out of the movie very fast. The biggest downside, I guess, is that Satan is kinda weak here, with uneven powers. At times he seems like an unstoppable force, and yet, whenever he's close to getting his bride, he seems to just lose most of his powers, as he does not have what it takes to win against the humans. Although it should be noted that Arnold is hardly just a human. Some of this are hidden by the fact that he is being played with confidence by Gabriel Byrne, who the same year had portrayed a priest in the underrated film Stigmata. Byrne is fun to watch and it looks like he was enjoying this as well.
What the hell are you?
He could easily have went over the top and single-handedly turned this film into a cheesy flick, but he understands where the line goes and keeps himself well within it. The lovely Robin Tunney plays Christine, Satan's love interest. She was okay, although her character was not given that much development, even if you could say that she was the main character of the plot. I think it would have worked even better if they had made this character be a child instead. Yeah, the whole making her a bride thing would perhaps be a bit too extreme for a big studio movie like this, but that's not really my concern now, is it? End of Days has the dubious honor of being the last movie to be pressed on an American Laserdisc, which I understand is going for a decent change these days, although at the time of doing this, I couldn't find a single eBay auction going on to verify it. And I have no real knowledge of the Laserdisc format either, so who knows for sure. Another fun fact about the film is that the soundtrack featured the first song with Oh My God from Guns N' Roses in years, and the first with Axl running the band without any other original members. End of Days is a fun, big-budget popcorn movie. I enjoyed it just as much today as I did when I first saw it in theaters at the end of the last millennium. Any movie with Arnold really trying and getting a challenge is worth watching, and seeing him in a supernatural horror film like this could hardly fail. End of Days gets a strong 4 out of 5. Anyone else out there with fond memories of this film? And have any of you seen it recently? Let me know what you think of End of Days in the comment section below, a like would be appreciated, and subscribe to catch more of my reviews in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
He's gonna fuck you. He's gonna fuck you, Christine. Can you see him? Can you see him?
Who are you? How do you know my name? Ah!